drink.
No, that's all right. So, all right. Hey, everybody. I am Bradley Schneller. This is With That Being Said with Rue Fitness. I have a very special guest today. This is Jeff Germond from CrossFit NOLA.
Yes, sir.
And former CrossFit Games athlete / competitor. And he also runs the Granite Games.
Granite Games Throwdown. So we are a Granite Games partner.
Okay. So what exactly is the Granite Games?
Granite Games is one of the new CrossFit sanctionals. So they are one of the ways that you can qualify for the CrossFit Games through their national or through their finals in June in Minnesota.
Cool. Awesome.
And they host a season now. And we are part of the season. We are the Throwdown. So that the on-site local opportunity to do the Granite Games, qualify for the finals in person, and have fun with your friends.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So like if you win the Throwdown, you like move on in the Granite Games?
So nationally, yes. They're doing it two ways. They have you do well in the individual Throwdown.
Okay.
And we had a team qualify in the fall. A girls team is going to qualify for the finals. But also they're doing it as a season. So if you enter the same team in multiple Throwdowns, they will track your performance over the course of the 3 Throwdown season, and you can qualify that way also.
Oh, that's pretty baller. So, cool. All right, let's talk a little bit about your background. How long have you been doing CrossFit?
11 years.
11 years.
12 years.
And
2008.
You started I say first, but officially second CrossFit gym ever in New Orleans, right?
The first one was in Metairie, so
right.
CrossFit New Orleans is what you're talking about?
Yeah, but I say you officially because it's the first real one with group classes and stuff like that. But no disrespect to anyone. Yeah. But so CrossFit NOLA, how old is CrossFit NOLA?
We're coming up on 10 years.
10 years, congratulations.
May. We're gonna have our 10-year anniversary May 2020.
You have 3 locations, right?
3 locations in the city, yeah.
Okay, so we got 504 CrossFit, which is Mid-City.
Yep.
We have CrossFit NOLA on Birch Street, uptown. And then the third one is, what is it, CrossFit?
NOLA Downtown.
NOLA Downtown, that's right. And that is on Magazine Street, near French Truck, right?
Yeah, right by the bridge.
It changed, right by the bridge. So, awesome. How many members do you have now?
We're in the 400 neighborhood.
400 neighborhood?
Between all 3.
And so like you've had it for 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of that decade, how would you say either CrossFit NOLA has evolved or, what are some things that maybe have changed over those 10 years?
I mean, I think we started as a more of a competitor type gym, and as we've kind of gotten on with our careers and I've more or less retired, we've kind of transitioned to more open to everybody, moms and dads, just trying to provide like a really good outlet for the average person to try and get fit. So we have a really diverse membership. We have people in their teens and we have people in their 60s, and they work out together. And
that's awesome. I mean, it's kind of like the evolution of CrossFit as a whole, right?
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was military people and badass former athletes, and then it kind of evolved to this now, to where the entire focus of CrossFit headquarters is focused on the general health and fitness of America, right?
Yeah.
And that's, recently we did a podcast with Dr. Jamie Kuo. She recently got her MD level 1, and so there's making a real push to get more doctors involved and just change the world.
They actually did a special doctors only level 1 in California. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, that's what she went to. Yeah, she just got back from it.
We had I think Chad.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Chad went out there. We've had a couple people do that.
So those of you who don't know, I actually got my start with Jeff. I was an intern with him at CrossFit NOLA before I opened up Rue Fitness. So everyone who likes me can thank Jeff personally, because he kind of shaped the coach that I am today. And especially in the early beginnings, we modeled a lot of the stuff that we did at Rue based off of CrossFit NOLA, because we really respect everything they do and looked up to them. So it's a pleasure having him on here today.
Cool. Appreciate that, Bradley.
All right, you're welcome, man.
And anybody who doesn't like him, you can't blame me for that either.
No, you can't blame. My personality is tough to take. So you either like me or you hate me. So that's kind of how it goes. So real quick, You said earlier you retired from competition. So you were pretty involved in competition. You went to regionals how many times?
7.
7-time regional competitor, guys. That's pretty baller. And really, your first time in regionals was, what were you, 28?
It was 2010. I don't know how old I was. Yeah, probably 28 or 29.
Yeah, so most of those regionals competitions you did in your 30s, though, right?
Yeah.
So you finally broke through, made the games.
Yep.
And how old were you then?
32, 33.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was one of the older competitors there. There were a couple people older than me, but I was up there.
Yeah. So this show, like, we're talking about the Granite Games. We're talking a little bit about Mardi Gras and our competitions. What kind of, and I want to talk about preparing for a competition in a competitive standpoint. You went from just normally working out in your gym or whatever gym you were at before you opened up NOLA. What kind of mindset switch did you have to make in order to prepare yourself for regionals and then the games?
I mean, I think the desire to compete is always there. I think people want to compete in something, whether it's fitness or whether it's crossword puzzles or something like that. And you need the outlet. And we have kids play sports since they're like 4 and 5 years old. And as an adult, you don't really lose that.
Right.
So the competitive drive is there, and you just need to decide where you're going to focus it. So when I found the avenue of fitness, and this is something that I enjoyed, and it was going to make my potential longevity in life and health better, it made a lot of sense to put my energy into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. And working out turned into more of like a goal-oriented thing. It wasn't necessarily something I had to do. It was something that I wanted to do because I wanted to see what I was capable of.
Right.
So it helped me really put everything I could into my training.
Cool. So, obviously what you had to do to train for regionals and the games is a lot different than what most CrossFitters are doing training for like a recreational competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are a couple of things that maybe translate to someone preparing for, the Granite Games Throwdown or like a Pensacola Beach Brawl or Mardi Gras or some competitions like that?
I think I've seen that has helped a lot of people is being really consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So when I trained competitively, I really didn't have a lot of, I guess, calories at that point. I ate a lot of food,
mm-hmm.
but I didn't drink at all. I made the sacrifice to keep everything really clean as far as I had to train the next day. I couldn't go out the night before.
Right.
So I didn't really take advantage of that, or didn't put my body in a bad position for years.
Mm-hmm.
I think recreationally, when we're doing this to have fun and give the everyday mom and dad an opportunity to compete and prove themselves, and we know they're not training for this primarily, but it's going to help them be more consistent at the gym. If they know they are signed up for the Granite Games Throwdown on December 7th,
mm-hmm.
they're not going to miss a day.
Right.
They're still going to enjoy their life, and they still have a lot of other things pulling them wherever they might be, but they're going to show up.
Yeah.
They're going to be at the gym every day. They're not going to take a day off because they don't want to go out and
It's still recording.
they don't want to go out and lay an egg, especially with their buddies.
Right. So, let's talk about the Granite Games for a second in terms of we talked about it being in a series of potential competitions to lead you to the CrossFit Games. But obviously, there's
mm-hmm.
different levels to the Granite Games. How many different maybe divisions do you have?
We only do 2 divisions. We do scaled and intermediate.
Okay.
Intermediate is going to be the general, pretty good people at your gym.
Right.
The most complicated
people that are RX and workouts every
yes.
day. Okay.
They're going to have a chest to bar pull-up, and they're going to have like a toes to bar and
mm-hmm.
like a double under. That's going to be the most complicated thing. You're not going to see handstand walking or muscle ups or things like that. And then the scale division is pretty much anyone who has enjoyed CrossFit. The movements are very very scalable. They have a ring row,
mm-hmm.
Which is the traditional movement to scale a pull-up with, and everyone who's been doing CrossFit for a couple months has been able to do the scale division and have fun.
So is it like saying the scale division of the Granite Games Throwdown, is it equal to maybe like the Festivus Games or a little bit more difficult?
I would say yeah. equal to Festivus.
So it's for everyone.
It's for everybody.
Right.
They do these divisions at the Throwdown level because they want to give the everyday athlete an opportunity to compete.
Mm-hmm.
We want to put on a world-class competition on a local scale and give the local athlete an opportunity to see what it's like kind of on a big sanctional level, but they don't have to leave their city.
Is it team or individual?
It's just team. We're just doing team, yep.
And is it 4 teams of 4 or teams of 2?
It's teams of 3, single gender.
I was off there.
I've done a number of team competitions, and I want to say the team of 3 has been the most fun because it's usually a couple of your buddies.
Right.
And the way they can structure the teams of 3 workouts, you can have 2 people working at one time, 1 person resting. You can have 1 person working at one time and 2 people resting. There's a lot of ways they can kind of make it interesting. I think the smaller teams end up working out. I think that's why CrossFit Games transitioned from the 6-person team to the 4-person team.
Right.
But team of 3 is always easy because you always got a workout buddy. You always got 2 workout buddies.
I found that before, and I mean, this is my personal opinion. This is not Jeff's opinion. But with the CrossFit Games when it was teams of 6, it was pretty boring to watch.
Yeah.
So
it's fun to do.
Right.
I agree with you.
Yeah, teams of 4 probably makes it a little bit more exciting.
Yeah.
Right. So, and guys, just so you know, like, if you want to participate in the Granite Games Throwdown, I think it's an excellent opportunity, especially if you want to do it like a warm-up to the Mardi Gras competition, which is on February 1st. That's the Roof Fitness one in Tad Gormley Stadium. We actually have 4 divisions. We have RX, Intermediate, Masters, and Scaled. And that is teams of 4, 2 males, 2 females. But again, like, we have an intermediate division, which in the Granite Games Throwdown, which would be a good opportunity to practice for RX or Intermediate or Masters. That's all about the same level with the Granite Games Throwdown. So check it out. Where can people sign up?
You can go to the event page through CrossFit NOLA or granitegames.com. It'll lead you right to I think there's 52 throwdowns in the country, and you can sign up for the one that's closest to you. Obviously, we're promoting New Orleans. We're the only one in the state. But
we'll include the link in the show as well. Jessica sent me the link. We'll include the link for you to register is there as well. So cool. Do you do the programming for the Granite Games Throwdown? Or
I do not.
You do not?
Programming is all standardized from headquarters because they're running 52 of these across the country, and they're going to take the top finishers to be invited to finals. The programming has to be the same.
Cool.
So it's everyone does the same workouts on December 7th. Over the whole country.
Is there anything? Oh, that's neat. Is there anything that makes maybe the Granite Games Throwdown programming different from, like, like your typical competition?
We run 4 workouts, and everyone gets to do the 4 workouts. One of the pet peeves I've always had is when you go to a competition and you are cut before the final. So everyone signs up, they get 4 workouts, and get to compete the whole day. And kind of the structure of the team of 3 is what makes it fun.
Yeah, I think that, either doing competitions or running Mardi Gras, I've always found, like, the biggest complaint we've had is people just sandbagging the scaled events.
Yeah.
And, like, how do you kind of protect against that?
Well, with the only divisions we have being intermediate and scaled, we do get some pretty good athletes sometimes in intermediate. And that makes it difficult to finish in the top if that is your goal.
Right.
I mean, 99% of the people that do the throwdown are not trying to qualify. They're just trying to have a good time.
Right.
But there's usually some pretty legit teams, some teams that could be an RX division at the Granite Games final. But we try and be consistent with the judging and the experience and give people an opportunity to put the best self out there.
Yeah, I mean, I generally tell people, when people come to me and they ask me what division they should do, like, I always try to implore them to go up.
Yeah.
Because to me, if you can play in the RX division, why do you want to scale yourself down? Like, to win a weekend competition? Like, I want to compete against the best, Like, if I had the opportunity to, no disrespect, compete against my wife or Jeff, I'm going to try to compete against Jeff. Even though he's probably going to smash me worse than I'll smash my wife. Like, I'd still rather compete against Jeff. Just because I always want to compete against the best. You know what I mean? It's like, it's why, LSU plays Florida every year in football. Why would you want your cross-divisional rivalry to be like Kentucky or something?
Yeah.
It's no fun. So that's awesome, man. Cool. Any cool stories from when you were in the games?
Ooh, it's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Was it 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
2014. Yeah, that was 5.
Jeez. I was there.
Time
I
flies.
witnessed Jeff do the triple free.
I think the coolest thing that I remember is how many people that came from New Orleans
There
to
was
watch.
a ton of people.
I had a huge cheering section, which I didn't expect, and I still get notifications on Facebook
Mhm.
as the pictures of the group and the experience. My wife was pregnant with my first child at that, and she's carrying around
Right.
in her belly, looking uncomfortable in the heat, and just I can't believe it was 4 years ago, because seems like yesterday sometimes.
Right. What was your best event?
Probably the swimming or the triple three.
Mm-hmm. I thought they miscounted your double unders on the triple three.
Well,
I was pretty sure because I was like counting along.
that brings up a funny story.
I'm like, what the shit?
The lady who was counting my double unders wasn't counting. I was telling her what I was at. I was like, I'm at 50. And she said, okay.
Oh, there you go, at the CrossFit Games. So it's funny you bring that up because, we had an RX jump rope clinic here, and I was talking to the guy who made RX jump ropes, or the RX Smart Gear guy, and we were talking about triple unders, and he's like, they're never going to be in the CrossFit Games because you can't count them.
Yeah.
And likewise, I talked about people complaining about scaled competitions and people sandbagging that. The other complaint I get is people can't count double unders. So at Wadi Gras, we actually try not to do double unders.
Yeah.
So just to eliminate a complaint.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that. So we'll do box jumps or some type of, or burpee box jumps or bar over burpees or whatever, just to eliminate complaints, because I want it to be as complaint free as possible. Crazy?
Yeah, I think that's good. We, strangely enough, thinking about misrep counting, at my, in the muscle up biathlon,
mm-hmm.
They didn't count one of my reps. He told me I was at 7, got off, came back, and told me I was at 6. So
yeah, what do? You can't do anything.
That's a big miss.
Yeah.
Every time you drop from the rings, you had to go run a lap.
It's tough. Do you feel like CrossFit has gotten better at maybe judging?
I think the CrossFit Games judges are outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are on top of everything.
Right.
I think the judging on the local scale is we do our best. I mean, Granite Games puts out a lot of resources to try and have some really consistent judges, and I would say our fall throwdown we were more consistent with our judging than we've ever been. We were no-repping people when they deserved to be no-repped.
Right.
And it's hard to do with the local.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of the stricter things that I have with running Wadi Gras is that, like, I tell people, if you aren't confident to tell someone no rep, then you can't judge.
Yeah.
And, like, you got to be able to take it if they get mad. You got to be able to take it, if they're talking shit in the middle of the workout. But you also, like, just can't take heat and take it. Like, you need to be able to no rep someone if it's a no rep because we have to be fearless out there. And I actually have, in the middle of a comp, removed the judge and replaced him.
Yeah.
Because,
in the middle of a workout?
Yes, that actually happened.
Bold move.
Okay. Yeah. It was more like I took the head judge because I saw something that wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, took the person off and put the head judge in, and they were able to pick it up right then and there.
All right.
So, I mean, I probably made that judge feel bad, but I apologize. Like, it had to happen.
Yeah.
And to keep the, I guess, level playing field of the competition. So,
yeah.
How hard was it going from, like, the CrossFit Games to just working out again?
It kind of just happened by default. I kind of ran out of time.
Right.
I trained for the games. I was like 4 hours a day, and then we had a kid, and it was less. And I ended up working with Training Think Tank and Ryan Sullivan for a little bit. Actually, Ryan wasn't working with them at that point, but he adjusted my volume, so it was less.
Right.
So had one kid could work out like 90 minutes, 2 hours a day, and that was doable. And we did a team, which was a lot of fun. That kind of gave it some extra, I don't know, incentive.
Right.
Doing a team, having an opportunity to qualify a team from Louisiana was our goal. We were not able to do that. But then I think when I turned 35, I put everything I had into trying to get to the games as a 35-year-old.
Right.
And I want to say I was like 50th or 60th in the world, and they take 20.
Yeah.
And the difference between me at 60 and me at 20 was like, I'm not making that up in a year. I'm getting a year older.
Yeah.
I'm getting entirely new.
And there's a new people into that age group.
Yeah.
So like you're 36, now there's a new 35-year-old.
Yeah. So I knew I was not going to be able to put in the time. It was going to take me to go from 60 to 20, and I said it's time to just take a little break.
So you're going to get back into it, or?
I keep thinking I will, but I haven't started training yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be.
You run 3 gyms. You know, anything else you got going on besides 2 kids?
No.
4-year-old and a 1-year-old, right?
5 and 1.
5 and 1. Okay, so just being a dad and running 3 gyms is a lot.
Yeah. So work out with the class, have a good time. I still will occasionally PR things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lighter. I was.
The first thing I said to Jeff when he walked in, I was like, "Man, you look skinny." Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
You don't look as big as you used to. You're not the biggest guy in the room. You're the smallest guy in the room.
Awesome. So you just do the class?
Do the class.
I just do the class too.
Occasionally, I will throw in some CrossFit linchpin. They have some good stuff. If I can't make the class or I have some time, I'll try and do just a workout that looks fun.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I'm hitting the class 5 days a week.
Nice. And
I think it helps me gauge where people are, because if I know I'm crushed by Wednesday, then they probably are too.
Right.
So
help this. You're perfect for this next question. So I see a lot of people, they get bit by the CrossFit bug, right? And then they want to do competition.
Mm-hmm.
So they stop taking the class. They start doing some, let's just say, New England comp train or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. But they never really get better. So they're off to the side doing their own thing. You know, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, is that the best way to train for a comp? Like, if you're just a recreational athlete?
There is no magic program.
Right.
If you still think there's a magic program, you'll be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
You will do your next. I mean, I trained hard for years, and I was still frustrated with my open finishes.
Mm-hmm.
It's about consistency.
Right.
It's about what you do in your time off. It's about sleeping enough. That was another thing. Sleeping.
Yeah.
I used to be able to sleep 10 hours a night. Now I sleep like 7.
7? Man, I'm coming out like 5 or 6 hours.
I don't function well at 5 or 6. I learned this. But you can do a lot of good just by showing up every day.
Right.
The magic program doesn't exist. It's the consistency of recovering and intensity when you're in the gym,
mm-hmm.
and eating.
So you said that, intensity when you're in the gym, and that's one of the things that I try to advocate for people doing the class as often as possible, because you cannot reach that intensity level on your own. Most people can't. Like, I mean, if you're Jeff and you're training for the games, like, you have to put your body and your mental state into places that most people can't go. But it's hard to do that on a daily basis if you're just someone training for a regular comp.
I actually trained with a partner.
Mm-hmm.
I made the games, and then I knew I couldn't really do it again by myself, and I recruited some people, and that helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I will still say I enjoy lifting with the class, because having people I know they're watching. I'm watching them. They're watching me. It increases the adrenaline a little bit, and that makes you lift more. I
also say, like, for specifically like a competition purpose, when you lift with the class, it's timed.
Yeah. You
have a certain amount of time to do it in, and when you're lifting on your own, that tends to get longer and longer, you know. And so, you know, if the competition says you got 7 minutes to hit this lift, or 15 or 12 or whatever, you're not as prepared for it.
Yeah.
True. So
I think working out with a friend, working out with your buddies,
mm-hmm.
it keeps it fun. I mean, that's the goal.
Right.
Have fun.
Well, that's why we started this, right? To look good, but have fun while we work out. And I think most people's biggest problem when they find CrossFit or they get into this is because their workout routine before wasn't fun.
Yeah.
And this shit's fun.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, man. Anything you else want to tell us about the Granite Games?
First workout is released. It is a clean ladder.
Mm-hmm.
It looks fun. Second one's coming out tonight.
Awesome.
I think. But they're trickling out. Find 2 workout buddies. Sign up. Have fun. It'll be. I think we're gonna do an after party.
Nice.
So.
And it's at 504, right?
It'll be the new gym. Yeah.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah.
Oh, the new one. So you want to tell everybody the news?
We are. We're moving CrossFit NOLA 504 down the street. We're supposed to be out by the end of the month, so it's going to be a rough transition right around now. But hopefully by December 7th, we'll be up and running. It's going to be a bigger facility. I know you remember the gym, but we had poles and pillars.
Yeah.
We don't have any pillars. We got like 35-foot ceilings.
Ooh, nice. It's just as big, if not bigger.
Yeah, it's a little bigger, and there's no poles, no pillars.
You gonna do any fun new toys because you're in a new facility, or?
Eventually, yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna have some tall ropes eventually.
Right.
Some 35-foot ropes, but
that'd be fun.
Have you ever climbed more than like 14 feet?
No.
It's frightening.
Yeah. Well, I shit my pants when I climbed 15 feet. So
okay.
it's never like it's so weird because. When you're at the top of a ring muscle up, it's almost just as high, but I'm not freaked out. I get to the top of the rope and I'm tired and my arms hurt. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So if I had to climb 35 feet, I would be terrified.
So.
You going to have crash mats under? Probably, huh?
I mean, I didn't know how we're going to hang the ropes at this point, so we're a couple months down we're a month down the road getting those ropes up. But, yeah, that's going to be the smart thing. It's going to be... We thought about hanging them lower, like chaining them lower, so people couldn't go up that high.
Right.
But I've had people requesting to go all the way to the top.
It's definitely a different fitness level, so I think it's interesting. I think
we have a tall rope at the downtown gym, and I don't like climbing it all the way up. I like climbing to the 15-foot tape mark and coming back down. And I'm very comfortable on the rope. I have no problems climbing. It's just the height. It's you holding on like the middle of an empty room in the ceiling.
Dude,
it's weird.
I'm the same way. Like we have a 15-foot ladder to like do stuff in the gym, and I'm scared to climb to the top of that ladder. So it's really bizarre. I don't like to be on scaffolding. We've had to do lots of things in the gym where we had a scissor lift, and even on the scissor lift, it's hydraulic, and I'm on a platform. I'm shitting my pants while I'm up there. So anyway, if you don't want to be afraid of heights anymore, go conquer Jeff's rope at CrossFit NOLA 504. It's 35 feet. You'll see it in the new gym. So get after it. Also, make sure you sign up for the Granite Games Throwdown. And again, either do it by itself or do it as prep work for Wadi Gras, which is on February 1st. And get after it, guys. It's a lot of fun. It's a great way to test it. But if you learned anything from Jeff and I today, the competition should be part of your routine. You're not necessarily changing how you're working out. You just might be ramping up the intensity level within yourself and then being a little bit better with your diet or your nutrition and your sleep habits leading up to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We had a girl just do that, sign up for the competition, and she said, I'm going to clean my diet up. I want to do well. Mm-hmm. And she did. She's lost 20 pounds and at the gym every single day, significantly stronger. She's killing it.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. I want to thank Jeff for being here. I'm super excited. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
Thanks, Brad.